G'day everyone, Jay Huxtable here at Oracle Sound, and I'm here today. It's wet and rainy Sunday afternoon here, so perfect time, perfect opportunity for me to show you BONESTAGER, which is similar to my other pedal plugins that are now available, PAINSTAGER and DriveStager. This time it's distortions and bass preamps that you can run in series, and they both run on wet dries. And you can go absolutely insane, or you can use it to thump up your bottom end, that kind of thing. So I won't ramble on because I'm raw dogging this video like I did the last one. But here's our main window and GUI just here. And again, I'd love to thank RJ. Amazing work with the GUI and the development and helping me out with not only the other plugins, but this one as well as Logan at Thrashwolf for providing the awesome artwork that is in the background here. So what we've got here, first off, is this is our main screen. We've got our input, output, pretty standard. We've got a tame and tight. Now these are high pass, low pass. You can kind of shape what you want to get out of the preamps, whether you're driving into a bass amp, like I've got here with the Dark Glass from Neural DSP, which I'll show you soon. This is going to be our platform to kind of show you what it sounds like into an amp situation, or in this case into a pedal situation. But we can also disable the pedal, use the cab, or just disable it entirely and just use BONESTAGER as it is. And then we've got our two wet dry knobs with our presets here. This one has 20 different presets, and these are all based on different preamps and pedals that I use on bass that are floating around the studio, as well as a couple of others that I had borrowed from some mates. So thank you, Dylan, also for lending me the SansAmp RBI and also a B7K. So here we've got, 20 presets, and they are, again, all various different preamp sounds or pedals. So we've got our default one, Clank, and this one here based on B7K, which I modeled in the studio, Bone, which I believe was the ODB pedal. I can't remember now, but I deliberately name these all silly names so we can mix and match them and just experiment and come up with really cool bass tones. I've got a few in here. The Snaz, that's a SansAmp RBI. Classic bass preamp. You can use it by itself or run it into amps, into other VSTs like this. We've got Tube, which is my SansAmp SVP preamp, so just the preamp staging of the Ampeg SVT. Awesome unit. We've got the Tusk, which I believe was one of the fuzz pedals I had floating around here. I can't remember which one it was. State was a funny one. That was a hand-built, kind of based off a B3. That's good fun, that one. One of my mates, Scotty, shout out to him. He has some silly pedals, and they're just random DIY builds based on other pedals, and they're good fun. And he loves to name them silly things. I think it was a Well Done Steak was the name of that pedal. Things like Fang. Actually, I've got that in front of me, which was based on the TC Electronics Fang metal distortion, which surprisingly does bass very, very well. And then a few other things like Peak and Poke, two different variants from the old BBE 383 bass preamp, which can be really peaky and fun to use, or very pokey if you want that like 90s kind of solid state pokey sound. But other than that, I'll show you the tone that we've got. I'll grab my bass. I've just got a Yamaha BB. I believe it's just a 235, one of their entry level models, which sounds awesome. Believe it or not, it's phenomenal bass. And as you can hear, it is just a just a basic bass sound there. We're not doing anything with the drive or anything. We're just using this as a platform. So I'll get right into it and just show you. So without it, cool, sounds like a bass. And then we'll chuck our first stage, which is clank, which is pretty much running a B7K into a B7K. And that's at a 50-50 blend, but we can really bring that up. We'll pull it right back. But we're here to distort and destroy bass tone. So you can chuck a couple on. Bones, the ODB, it's a bit of a noisy pedal. But as you can hear, that's already absolutely distorting everything. And cool thing is we can disable the B7K here and just use the cab, which is just the default cab that I've got set up here. It's clanky. And then we'll go something like bit of solid state poke in there. Really drive that, bring that back. Drive it into our plugin. Or we can just do it without a cab. But we can get extra silly with this. So if we just chuck all this back on here, we can go something like Sans Amp. And where are we? Like a 50-50 of a Sans Amp into the SVP. That sounds really cool. That real gritty kind of upper mid forward kind of sound. Myth is a fun one. This one is based off an Alpha Omega and using the tube and everything else. It gets distorted really quick, which is really fun. So we've got the tight knob, which is the high pass filter from BONESTAGER. Same kind of thing. So we can just pretty much just get the top end if we want. Cool if you want to do blends, or if you've got, say, your channel split into your high and low, you've got a bit of a crossover there and you just want to distort that top end and play around with it, you can use that. And TAME is the low pass. So all of that top end. So you can play around and get something that works for whatever you're doing there. But we can go a bit silly. Get some fuzz. Really get some fuzz. And pull this one back, and we'll take this out of the equation. Go back to our clank. Get really gritty distortion there, even just using, say, something grit, pure grit. We can run tube into that, and it's really, really nasty. Flip those around. If we go saw into our tube. Ooh. So yeah, this is good fun. It was funny because I was setting up this video and I got all my audio set up and I started playing around for about half an hour just going through all the crazy options. But yeah, you can use it with a plugin. Into an amp, like into an amp sim or a plugin, or you could use it just by itself. That's really clanky. We'll get something a bit more. Just drive into it a bit more. Oh, and that's that real tubey, rounded bass sound. And works fingers slapping, however you do. Everyone always says, play Seinfeld. But you can get really fun. I've got some, I'll play some other different presets for you. That's got that real mid focus in that one there. And then, I mean, you can go absolutely nuts. Quite gainy. Stake's a fun one. Put the pedal back on. There's that real kind of throaty kind of sound to it. If we go something like, oh, this is very high gain. We'll get a bit of a gate going on this one. Oh yeah. I mean, you can drive it into something cool. But that's pretty much that BONESTAGER. I could sit here and riff and go absolutely nuts with it. But again, it's just the same idea behind the other pedal plugins. It's 20 pedals in one, essentially. And by themselves, they sound awesome in a mix. I've had instances of this stacked with PONESTAGER as well to really get some of that HM2 into the bass. You can do things like run it straight into the cab sim. You can run it into pretty much any bass setup that you have, and pull it right back if you want to just to subtly shape and change the tone and add tiny bits of distortion, or pretty much send it and go fully nuts with it, and you can produce some real crazy tones, and they're so much fun, absolutely so much fun to play with. So I hope you enjoyed this little showcase. So and I'll quickly show you actually. So same again, double clicking will reset everything to default, and yeah, you got your little bones here which will go through all your different settings. Otherwise you can click and pick just like that, and you've got your on off here, and yeah, it's so much fun. So that is BONESTAGER. It is also on sale. I'll be keeping it on sale for $25, probably for most of this month as an introductory kind of price, and I've got this one, Drive Stager, and Pain Stager all in a bundle, which you can save even more. But hopefully you see this and you go, that's cool, I want to try it. Awesome if you do. It's every sale helps me create more of this, and I'm looking forward to diving into more outlandish and crazy ideas. And that's pretty much it. So enjoy your Sunday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon here. It's wet and rainy here, so hopefully it's not where you are. And go riff. Cheers.